What's going on, Scott Pizzle? You know, if you would have asked me at the start of the year, by the way, it's Cowboys Hate Week. But if you would have asked me at the start of the year, what's the worst possible scenario for the New York Football Giants? What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, you're looking at it. This season has just been awful. I think it's so bad because of what just happened a year ago. And I have a great comparison to this, but I'm going to save it for just a second. But because of what happened a year ago, there were some expectations coming into this year. And obviously, those expectations are not being met. On paper, we looked like a better team. And then yesterday, the excitement of being able to see Daniel Jones back on the field and to like I made in my video and kind of in the back of my mind, hope that he does something special and gets us corrects a lot of wrongs. And instead, he gets an ACL injury. I just really, I just feel, I truly feel for Daniel Jones. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably secretly are happy about this, right? They're they want him to fail so miserably because of whatever reason. They just don't believe, whatever. And so this gives the Giants in their minds all the more reason to replace him, right? Can't stay healthy. All right, that's fair. That's a fair argument. Now you got an ACL issue, along with a neck thing, and so I'm in a mourning stage right now. If I'm being honest, I have to be honest with you guys. You guys know that I tell you guys that this is a fan channel, and I love the New York Giants with every ounce of my body. I'll be honest. I've prayed to not love the Giants as much as I do. Like I've tried to back away a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've tried to, I don't know, grow up. But I have been so infected with this organization. And I mean, just look behind me. I mean, my favorite comments are when people say, "What is that, a kid's room?" I I can't help but laugh, right? And if you know me personally, you know that all I am is just a big kid. That's just what I am. But nevertheless, I love the New York Football Giants. And so what's happening right now, there's so many guys out there that can just go instantly to mock drafts and they go instantly to, all right, what's next? All right, what's the next thing? And I'm in the mourning phase. I need to mourn. It feels like somebody has just died really close to me right now. And I need to just, I need to grieve. Right? I have to come to terms with what this season is. And it's it's a lost season. Look, and it's terrible for me to say that because I'm a 60-minute man. I'm a grinder. I am a person that if I'm on a mission, I'm going to make it a point to make it to reach my mark, right? And you just can tell that the next 2+ months for the Giants here is just going to be absolutely miserable. There's just no way around it. It's going to be miserable. It kind of feels like to me a time period in the early 2000s. In 2002, the Giants had, I felt like, a really good season, double-digit win season. Kerry Collins looked really well. He was just coming off of a couple years removed from a Super Bowl appearance, and I was such a Kerry Collins fan. He wore my favorite number 5. I loved his story of how he overcame, his alcoholism and just his ability to play and play at a high level. And the Giants made the playoffs, and they had that disastrous loss to the 49ers, right? Where the 49ers have this miraculous comeback. And then the following season, you kind of go into 2003 with those expectations, and guys got hurt. And that was pretty much the end of that run for that group, right? Jim Fossil gets fired, Kerry Collins gets removed, and the Giants bring in a new regime of Tom Coughlin, and obviously brought in Kurt Warner and drafted Eli Manning. As a fan, I was a teenager at the time. I was ninth grade or 10th grade, somewhere around there. And I was not ready for the Giants organization to move on from those guys personally. I was a big fan of those guys. And obviously, the right thing to do in the end was for the Giants to move on, right? To draft Eli Manning, to bring in Tom Coughlin, because it obviously resulted into 2 Super Bowls. Maybe probably should have been 3 Super Bowls. But I realized that as much as I am a fan of the current team, and I look, I'm not a fan of obviously the losing, but I look back at that time period in my life, and I remember that stage in my life of where, no, I didn't want to let go, but in the end, it was the right thing to do and to move on to something else. And it's really hard for me to come to terms with that currently. I don't know. I can't give what I believe is the direction of this team just yet, because, like I said, I'm still in a grieving process where my emotions are dictating my feelings, and I need to get all that out before I can give a full assessment of what I really think should happen. And so, and I don't know how long that's going to take. Some of you guys might say, "Well, you're just a little too dramatic, then, Pizzle. You got some female tendencies." And look, I'll be the first to tell you, when it comes to the Giants, I am a little fucked up. I'll be honest with you, but I'm sad because, in addition to that, we still have to play the Eagles twice this year. And obviously the Cowboys this week. And what are you going to say? What is there to say? I'm going to leave you guys with this. There's so many of you guys that want to move on from the quarterback position. And I get that. I understand that. I think some of you guys want to be in the honeymoon phase, if I'm quite honest with you. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just I think some of you like buying new shoes. You like buying a new car. You like buying new clothes and stuff like that. But you want to be in the honeymoon phase. You see, the honeymoon phase is when you get somebody new, when you get married to somebody. It's all great, right? It's, you know, you're in a exotic location. She's doing things to you never thought somebody would do to you. I mean, you're in a honeymoon phase. You're the happiest you can be because you got a new shiny toy, new shiny object, all that good stuff. But years pass, and that honeymoon phase eventually wears off. And so a lot of you guys want to talk about changing quarterbacks and doing all this and that, but I've watched this New York Giants organization now fuck up the end of Eli Manning's career, which, by the way, probably the greatest New York Giants quarterback of all time. And I've also watched him fuck up what I believe is a franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones didn't screw Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was screwed by the New York Giants. That's what I believe. And with that being said, you can all rally around mock drafts for the next several months and talk about the new quarterback. But this organization has shown you that with two franchise that they took two franchise quarterbacks and didn't know how to handle them. And they fucked up both of them. So why in the world would I think that going out and getting a third one? Now, this doesn't mean, hey, Pizzle, does that mean we never draft a franchise quarterback? No, it does. That's not what I'm saying at all. But this organization has to figure out all its internal bullshit first before they even can think about player personnel. Because clearly, as I just stated, end of Eli Manning's career, disaster. This little window of Daniel Jones' career, disaster. So why would I think anything else is different? It's really sad times.